Alright, so today we're talking about CloudWatch. I'm going to keep it pretty simple because CloudWatch itself is pretty straightforward. So, CloudWatch is how you know what's happening with all your AWS services. It's basically AWS's monitoring service. So, it watches all your resources and tells you what they're doing. Alright, so think of it like the dashboard in your car. Like, it shows you your speed, your fuel level, the engine temperature. You need all that info to know if everything's running smoothly or if something's about to go wrong. So, CloudWatch does the same thing, but for your EC2 instances, Lambda functions, databases, or whatever you're running on AWS. There's really just three main things: metrics, which is the numbers like the CPU usage, the memory, and the request counts; the logs, which is like what your app is writing out, so the errors, the events, and the debugging info; and then the alarms, which is like notifications when something crosses a threshold that you set. So metrics are just data points over time. So how much CPU is your server using right now, or how many requests per second is your app handling? AWS automatically collects a bunch of these for you, so you don't have to do anything. It just tracks them in the background. The main ones that you'll probably care about is the CPU usage, the network traffic, the disk reads and writes, and for Lambda, how long a function takes or how many times they run. They update every 5 minutes by default, but you could pay a little bit more for 1 minute updates if you need real-time data. So logs are just your application writing stuff down. So every time something happens, an error, a warning, whatever, it gets logged. This comes in clutch when something breaks, like let's say your app crashes at 3 a.m. You can go into CloudWatch logs and see exactly what happened right before it died. All your logs from all your services end up in one place, so you can search through them, filter them, find patterns. It's basically a time machine for debugging. So alarms are where this gets really useful. You set a rule like if CPU goes above 80% for 5 minutes, let's say, send me a text. And when that happens, CloudWatch could either email you, text you, or trigger auto scaling if you remember from our previous video. It could also run a Lambda function to fix it automatically if you have it set up. And this is how you avoid waking up to a crashed app. CloudWatch catches the problem and either fixes it or tells you about it before it gets too bad. When I first started with AWS, I wasn't too eager to set up monitoring, which was a pretty bad idea. You need to know things like, is my app actually working right now? Or why did it fail last night? Or am I about to run out of disk space? Or should I scale up or down to save money? Without CloudWatch, you're flying blind. You only find out about the problems when your users complain. You see problems coming and can fix them before anyone even notices. So that's the difference between looking professional and looking like you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, CloudWatch. It monitors your AWS resources, it collects metrics and logs, and alerts you when something's actually wrong. So it's not the most exciting service, but it's one of the most important ones. If you set it up early, configure some basic alarms, you'll save yourself a ton of headaches in the future. Alright, let me know if you found this helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.